Hello guys and welcome back to Haymanager with me Alex, and today we've got our Game Week 2 transfers and how I'm going to set up my team after last week. So let's get straight into how we're going to be lining up, and basically we're going to look at how I've performed last week. So there you go, start from Game Week 1. We have my team for Game Week 1. Now my Game Week rank was 2.6 millionth out of 9 million players, which ain't too bad. It was a pretty interesting, that's to say the least, start to the Premier League, Fantasy Premier League season. We saw Onana get 9 points for us, really good. Obviously had a bit of a controversial save, or maybe it wasn't a save, a foul, which should have been given by the referees, but we move. He got 9 points there, as you can see. Clean sheet, 6 saves, made a lot of saves, got a bonus in there as well. I thought he might have got all 3 of the bonus, but Wan-Bissaka and Varane obviously coupling up for that goal, got those bonus points. Estupiñán, so Estupiñán was part of the 4-1 thrashing against Luton, an introduction to the Premier League for them. I got an assist for him there, 3 bonus points for him. He had an outstanding game, a really good player. Jurriën Timber, it is a shame. It is a royal shame. This man, he played very well for the first 49 minutes, and then it's like he didn't even know it. He's snapped his ligament in his knee, I believe, which means he's going to be out for probably 6 months. It's around about that. It's going to be a long 4 to 6 month process. He was worth 5 million. He's now down to 4.9. It's a real shame because I had an Arsenal defender there who was probably going to get us quite a few points, but they did concede to Nottingham Forest in the late few minutes. So try and avoid Arsenal defenders for now, just because he don't. Arteta's trying to introduce all of his players at once. It's probably not going to mould as he thinks. Kyle Walker locked down a contract. He managed to get us a clean sheet in there as well. Bernardo Silva also locking down a contract. He managed to get us a clean sheet too. He is actually 75% likely to play. He's got an illness. So a player there that might not play for us, but we can rely on our substitutes. Solly March, brilliant, absolutely fantastic game he had. Last season, I was a big fan of Solly March. I think he hit the amount of times he hit the woodwork last season. I think it was unaccounted for. Like he is an amazing player. It just didn't seem to go well for him last year. But I'm going to bank on him this year, as you can see. I think last year he got 6 goals, 10 assists anyway. Season prior to that, 2 assists. He came into his own last season. He was playing more or less as like a right forward in this game. So, and there's a differential pick, 3.8% of people only picked him. I think that was a pretty solid pick by himself, more so than Matoma. He managed to pick up as well a bonus point and a clean sheet. So brilliant. He came off before they actually scored. So he got 9 points for us. Rashford, my captain. I am having a few doubts about this pick. He did come off in the 87th minute. I watched the United Wolves game. They just didn't seem to want to find Marcus Rashford. Let's put it that way. There was a lack of through balls. If there was a through ball that was behind him, he had one take on. I think he could have performed better in, but people just weren't finding him. As you can see, the influence, creativity, threat index, he is actually 20th out of the forwards in that, which after the first game week, considering he didn't score, he didn't get an assist, you would think that's probably not right. You'd expect him to be a little bit lower than that, but I think it's just the fact that they weren't finding him with his final balls. It's just a shame for Marcus Rashford, really. But he's still in the side. He was my captain. Probably the worst choice I've made in an opening game week so far. Haaland, I should have been having as my captain, but we'll move on to that. Trossard, it didn't come through. I thought Trossard might have started after his last-minute antics in the Community Shield. 5% of people picked him. I was one of them. If you looked at actually who scored for Arsenal, you saw Nketiah and Saka, Martinelli getting the assist. So Saka-Martinelli duo is probably the beneficiary of this. Nketiah out there as well, doing really well. He's like brought in instead of playing Trossard up front or Jesus or Havertz. Yeah, I think I'm going to try and do something about this pick because it doesn't look like Trossard's the favoured player. Saka we've got in here as well. He got a nice 3 bonus points. Great goal. I think he had an outstanding game. João Pedro, not a differential anymore. 27.1% of people pick him now. 7 points for him. He scored his on his debut for Brighton. It was a penalty which he won. He probably should have had 2 penalties. But as you can see here, expected goals, I think he got around about 0.35 outside of the penalty, because the penalty is 0.95 anyway, I think. Something around that. And then Haaland, obviously, getting the 2 goals, getting 3 bonus points. He is off to a flyer already, and they have such a nice run of games after this Newcastle game. You'd rely on him to score quite a few goals. On the bench, we had Wissa, which is a real shame, actually. I should have banked on him doing something against Tottenham at home. It's always a tricky start to the season going to Brentford. I should have probably brought him in for Trossard, just seeing if Trossard would have actually come off the bench is a thing that I should have probably foreseen. That would have got me 80 points, swapping in Wissa for Trossard. As I say, get 80 points for me. And then having Haaland as captain is an extra 13. So you're looking at an extra 22 points on top of this. I could have had 93 points, was probably the highest I could have had, which is a really good start to the season. Hickey actually conceded 2 goals and got a yellow card. Rico Henry, the other player that I should have probably brought in, 4.5 million have banked on Aaron Hickey more so than Rico Henry, but I'll stick by it for now. And then obviously Matty Cash conceded 5, and Flecken in there got conceded 2 but made 4 saves. So decent start to the year. If we look at who this was a manager of the week, should I say, Ahmed B07 from, where's that, Tunisia? I believe it's Tunisia. Is it Tunisia? Yeah, it's Tunisia. He played his bench boost. He had Onana, Varane, Estupiñán, Dunk, Saliba, Luis Diaz in there, Rodrigo, Saka, Isaac Haaland, and then off his bench he had Leno, Mitoma, and Darwin Núñez. Ruben Diaz didn't actually play, I don't think. No, he didn't. So that's your manager of the month. We move on now to the actual game week. Team of the game week, even or this is team of the season at the moment, but as you can see, it's basically going to be team of the week. For now, Leno managed to get quite a few points there. As you can see, he got a clean sheet, he got the 3 bonus points, made 9 saves in the game against Everton. I don't know how Everton didn't score. Honestly, I'm a Sean Dyche massive, but I have absolutely no idea how he didn't score. Varane obviously up there, he got a clean sheet, he got a goal, he got 2 bonus points, 90 minutes played. I mean, it couldn't have gone much better for him. And then Wan-Bissaka as well. I think Wan-Bissaka's starting right back for Manchester United, but yeah, that's by the by. Didardi in there on his day. Disarcy, sorry, not Disarcy, Didardi, or whatever we call him. Disarcy, 90 minutes, looks solid, looks absolutely solid. Picked it up really well. And then Anderson in there as well. What did Anderson get? Did he get a clean sheet and 3 bonus points? Yes, he did. Joaquim Anderson always starts off great to the year. Rodri in there, had a decent game, 7.9, 5.6 million he cost. He actually got an assist as well, I think, in the Super Cup in the middle of the week. So another player probably to look out for. Harvey Barnes, this man, I'm getting this man as soon as Fulham, as soon as Newcastle hit this vein here, I am getting this man in. He's the player that I think is going to be so underrated this season. So underrated. The fact he played for Leicester, where they had Vardy, they had Tielemans trying to feed him, which wasn't as good. Upgrading now to like the Alexander Isak, the Callum Wilson that are going to take players away from you because they know how deadly they are. You got Bruno, Guimaraes, Joe Linton, you can run in and make a decent final ball in the final third. Anthony Gordon to feed him. You know, these type of players that they've got in the midfield. Joe Willock, another one. I just think Harvey Barnes is going to be an absolute sensation. He got a goal and an assist in 22 minutes of playing. I mean, if that doesn't say he needs to start over Anthony Gordon, I don't know what. But yeah, he's going to come into the side immediately as soon as he has a nice run of form. Saka we know already. Isaac surprised me. 2 goals, and I mean, I know he had his first season last year, but to get 2 goals on the opening day, I think for 7.5 million, he was a bargain. But like, if you look at that run of games at the start of the year, you got City away, Liverpool at home, Brighton away, Brentford at home. It's going to be difficult. But then this run of games here, you can see, I know they've got Arsenal, United and Chelsea in 4, but it's going to be a nice run of games for them. Haaland in there as well, and obviously Wissa, who we've already seen too. So in terms of how I'm going to pick my team next week, I've got Flecken in nets because I think Brentford could probably do a job against Fulham with a 5 at the back. Hickey and Cash I'm going to bank on because if Everton continue playing poor and not being able to finish, I'm going to stick Matty Cash in. I think Aston Villa have a nice run of games anyway, and I'm going to keep him in the side for now, Matty Cash. If Villa's defence looks leaky but they're scoring goals, I'll get rid of him no worries. Stooping on Wolves in there. Wolves had a pretty good game against Manchester United, but they always perform against Manchester United. I think Wolves are going to lack the finishing ability. Cunha was just not good enough. They've got obviously Nunes in the middle. I can't remember. It's Thiago Nunes, I think his name is. He's just not good enough. Bernardo is going to be a bit here or there whether or not he starts. So I'm going to put Rashford on the bench there just in case Bernardo doesn't start. But I don't think Rashford's going to perform against Tottenham either. I just can't see it happening. United just didn't seem on the ball. Just didn't seem to pick up the pace. Solly March in there because I think he will. Trossard I'm going to take out, I think. I'm going to put him onto the bench. I'm going to bring Walker in against Newcastle. I'm hoping Newcastle can't score against City. But I know Newcastle hit on the break so well. You know what? I'm gonna bring. I'll bring Rashford in. I'll just bring Rashford in. I'm gonna have to because I just can't see Walker performing too well against Newcastle. It might bite me, but come back to haunt me even. But I'm gonna save the team like that. So we've got then Saka as my captain against Crystal Palace. That might be subject to change if we see João Pedro or even Wissa. I might put Wissa as captain. But for now, I've got him as vice. Haaland against Newcastle. You'd expect him to bag, but De Bruyne is now injured. João Pedro in there against Wolves, so I think he'll start again, and then Wissa as well in there, because he's going to be probably the standout player. So I've got him as vice, Saka as captain. I think Saka's just all-round ability to take on, he's going to be defended by Tyreek Mitchell. I think Saka's all-round ability just to turn defenders inside out, get that ball into the box against Crystal Palace. I remember watching them last season. I think it was opening game of the season maybe, where Arsenal played Crystal Palace, and it was just different gravy. I think they won 4-1 or something like that. Saka definitely needs to be my captain for this game week. In terms of transfers, here we have it. We're gonna hit it off already. Timber is obviously injured already. We're going to bring in Chilwell. Now, there's two players I was thinking about bringing in. We've got Chilwell, who has a nice run of games with Chelsea here. I don't want to bring in too many Chelsea players, but I know Chilwell looks on the ball. He's playing left wing, basically. He's playing left wing back out of possession. Out of possession, he's playing left wing back. In possession, he's playing left wing with Levi Colwell in that left back role. Chilwell allowed to advance forward. This run of games here looks like it's going to be lethal, as well as Fulham and Burnley, and then Villa, who are leaky at the back. So Chilwell's going to come in. It was him or Emerson Royale. Now I want to just focus on Emerson Royale a bit closer because I like this run that Tottenham have. Obviously, there's 2 game weeks here where you have to probably bench 2 players. So I'm going to try and bring in Maddison next week. That's like the likely pick for Bernardo Silva. But Man United, away from home, I wasn't going to bring him in because I know I won't use him. I could probably use Chilwell at the back, taking Rashford out. And then we're going to look at Emerson Royale in the next few game weeks. Just if he does start every game, he's a good differential pick. Pedro Porro's not playing. And I like the look of this Tottenham team. I do like the look of him. He's playing like an inverted wing-back type of role, so he's going to get forward. I know his goal was a bit out of the blue. It wasn't like anything spectacular, but I like how this Tottenham team are operating. But I want to see if they're going to be able to defend well. If they can, brilliant. I'll bring him in. But for now, I'm going to keep off him. Other than that, you probably banked on getting maybe a United player in your defence at some point, and I am contemplating bringing in the big man himself. Where is he now? Where is he now? Mbeumo. I am contemplating bringing in Mbeumo for Trossard, just because Brentford have a delightful run of games. As you can see here, it's pretty nice. Every other week you've got once every month you've got to like bench them. But they have a nice run of games, Brentford. I think it's very kind. So that's my transfer for the week. I'm going to take Timber out and put Chilwell in. Probably losing me quite a bit of money here. I am actually going to be in the negative, I believe. So 2.8. Oh no. Squad value is 101.1 million, so not too bad. It's not going to put me in the red, but yeah, I'm going to switch it around. This is how I'm going to have it. Chilwell just on the bench there against West Ham. I think he might be able to pick up 1 or 2 goals. West Ham looking solid at the back, but not too solid. They did defend that sloppy goal. Who was it to again? They did concede a sloppy goal to Bournemouth in the last few minutes. It wasn't fantastic. It wasn't a well-worked goal, but I think West Ham can probably just keep Chilwell at bay. Obviously, he'll be a highlighted player, but I think for now I'm happy with this. My 3 strikers I'm very happy with. João Pedro, Wissa and Haaland. I'm confident of them getting a goal or an assist each game. Haaland the main player for City. João Pedro seems to be pretty on the ball in that forward position, with Solly March following up on that. Wissa looks pretty lethal in front of goal for Brentford. I think that's the front 3 that everyone should have, unless you're going to get Isaac in there. Just hoping that he gets a bit of a game. But for the price of these 2, it's an absolute bargain. Rashford in there. 9 million, he's going to be the one that I might consider taking out. I think I've got how much? 2.8 million, so I'll have 11.8 million to spend on my midfield. Rashford, if he's not performing too well, probably take him out. If I'm looking to bring in Maddison, that's it. Let's me get money elsewhere. Once Liverpool go over this slump, bring in maybe Alexander-Arnold, so who knows. But that's how I'm going to line up with my squad this week. So, I'll just bring in, just to quickly go over, the Ben Chilwell card. So as you can see here, Ben Chilwell, 5.6 million, West Ham away from home, 18.6% of people have picked him. ICT index is actually building up, so 6.3, so that builds over the season. Matches played, he's played 1 assist, 1 obviously, and 7 points per average, so can't really go wrong with him. Cannot go wrong. So anyway, I hope you did enjoy this video. If you did, please leave a like. Subscribe if you are new. Let me know down in the comments below how you did in your first game week. Let me know if you think there's any tips or things that I've missed out on. I shall catch you in the next episode. From me, Alex. Have a great day. Ciao.